And we're back. This is Battlefield. Battlefield Beta, to be exact. Now, I played a little bit of this early today. And let's get into some options. So I played a couple rounds today early in the morning before I went to work. And I got a little taste of the beta. Let's get a little music going here. 20% is good. Let's turn off the voice chat. Okay. And what I realized, luckily, I had somebody that jumped into the stream and watched for a little bit, and they were telling me about some of the bugs that they had encountered before, and some of the options that they were using, and that did help a little bit. Actually, I want to raise this. So basically, I turned everything off as per that person's suggestion. And it did seem to improve the picture a little bit. But I'm still having some issues with the game. I'm just finding it hard to see. Player created content. Yeah, let's leave that off. Chat log, hide, off, inventory when active, crosshair visibility. I turned this off earlier, but I think I'm gonna turn it up to, let's say 30%. We'll see how I do with that. Critical messages. Let's do without this, because I feel like the HUD is pretty busy as it is. Damage based shape. Choose whether the hit indicator changes shape and size depending on damage type. Let's turn that off. Minimap. Hmm. Show stationary weapons. Yeah, why not? Default icon opacity. That's a strange one, but I think I'm going to leave it off for now. Okay, I'm not going to get into the vehicles right now. Stick aiming, acceleration, simplified airplane control, sure, we'll leave that on for now. Decouple aiming from turning. Hmm? I'm glad to see all these choices, but it's a little much for me right now. Okay. So before I jump in, let's get into some impressions. Um, I was having fun. I only played 2 rounds. They were both conquest. Got a victory in both, thank goodness. So I think generally people are understanding the game. Um, the game feels okay. Some of the movement's a little clunky. I'm hoping that, you know, that some of these options that I just messed around with will help. Um, let's make sure these assignments that I said earlier. Okay, yeah, so this is good. I guess I like these assignments. I think that stuff like this is not really my cup of tea normally, but I think it's fine. I'm not really against it. Um, I'm not crazy about the maps. I guess they're carrying over kind of the aesthetic from Battlefield 1, which is, you know, a lot of urban areas, highly destructible environments, for the most part. I think the level design is now a little busy, so it's hard to see people. And again, some visual adjustments might fix that. The movement feels a little clunky, kind of like a little bit like it felt in Battlefield 1 and way back in Bad Company 2, where strafing left to right seems a little stiff compared to like Battlefield 3 and Battlefield 4, where I feel like you have a little bit better range of motion there. Overall, the game feels okay. This being a beta that's only about 5 or 6 weeks before the proposed release date. Of course, that release date has now been pushed back by a month. There's a lot of stutter. That's really the most troubling thing because it messes with the smoothness of the gameplay. This is interesting because it's kind of like a storefront, I guess. They're definitely going with a different progression system than the ones that I prefer, which were Battlefield 1, I'm sorry, Battlefield 3 and 4, which were a progression from Bad Company 2. But it's not a non existent progression like we saw in Battlefield 1, where I really didn't enjoy that at all. So, yeah, mostly positive. I understand that there's supposed to be a a beta dropping for or I'm sorry, a patch dropping for this beta. I'm not sure if it's going to affect consoles. It'd certainly be a lot easier to, you know what? No, 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 no. Yeah, damn it, I didn't want to do that. But we'll just go with it. It doesn't quite feel like the type of Battlefield experience that I prefer. And I don't want to go too hard on Dice because you know you got to try new things. Games evolve. Certainly, coming from Battlefield One, I expect this game to borrow things from that game. Hopefully, the stuff that worked, and hopefully not the stuff that didn't work.
Attention soldiers. We'll be dropping you in to soften up German defenses ahead of the main landing. You need to
This
locate
map
caches
in
containing
particular, I'm
explosives
not
and
a
use them to
fan of.
dismantle their artillery. Get yourselves ready, and good luck.
Oh wait, I'm not the class I
all
wanted
of the
to be.
remaining objectives must be destroyed.
That's alright. And again, in typical Battlefield fashion, it's not really clear. Like, you know, you have that whole video introduction, but it's like, what is this icon again exactly? Explosives. Do I have to come get them? How does this work?
You've just picked up explosives. Destroy all of the remaining objectives.
Oh, that's not gonna work. A lot of sound bugs. Some minor animation bugs that aren't really welcome. I encountered a bug in my very first round where I was unable to respawn. All that stuff is kind of minor. And that's, you know, that's stuff that I would expect to be fixed by the time the game releases. But you never know with dice. You know, the Battlefield 3 beta had a lot of bugs that were still present in the final game. Battlefield 4, of course, released in a terrible state. There's a little graphical bug there. Almost went through the floor. Oh. I'm definitely getting a better game feel than I was this morning when I was playing, so this is good. You know, and some of this stuff is just new. It's just different from other games, so it's going to take adjustment. I don't want to judge the game entirely. It's just a beta, and I'm obviously very early in my gameplay. 2 rounds is not enough to make a judgment. I don't like how big the guns look. Oh, I already have the explosives, I guess. Cool. Oh, wow. Okay, that's fine. My first time playing that game mode. Can't say I'm a fan of the way you just get dropped in there. I'm also not a fan of
The
that
German
map.
successful defense gave them time to
We'll see how
prepare,
it goes.
and they're readying a significant resistance on shore. We are one step closer to liberating Narvik. We won't be winning by the numbers, so it's got to be grit that sees us through.
Also, any kind of loading or menu seems to take quite a long time. Like the menus in particular feel pretty unresponsive. That's a little troubling, but again, it's a beta.
Be steadfast, troops. Once we've taken back this harbor, the Kriegsmarine will be bloody well sunk. Do your bit and capture each garrison using whatever resources remain. You are Britain's finest, and the enemy are going to find out exactly what that means.
Okay, I don't know what that means exactly. So I guess it's some kind of like dynamic mode? I don't know.
Your orders are to attack the next sector.
Could have sworn that was a person. Ooh, a little bit of popping and here and there. Oh wow. Well, their snipers are set up. Time to kill is certainly different.
Someone! Medic!
So it feels a little bit faster now.
We've taken objective Able.
It's not necessarily a bad thing. But it is going to take some adjustments. See, that's kind of disappointing. Can't cut through a fence.
We've now lost objective Able.
Oh, it's my crosshairs. I see. I forgot I turned them down to 20. So I was kind of getting tricked by that. The recoil is pretty severe on this gun. Well, I got one. Yeah. Let's get some squad action here. Oh, what are you doing? What are you doing?
Someone!
I guess you gotta play a little bit more defensively.
Fucking hurts! Help me!
See, there's some of that stutter. Okay. I also wish the uniforms were a little more
Fucking hurting!
conducive to telling the teams apart. That's pretty difficult. At least on this map, everybody looks kind of the same.
Someone! Help! Have a smoke grenade!
The sector is ours. Fine work. We need all enemies cleared from the sector.
Okay. What's the sector? Like the two flags or the battlefield? I don't really understand that.
Return to the combat area.
Outside, Rodney! Got that fire!
Move to attack the next sector.
That gun sounds powerful, but it ain't shit.
Have some first aid, Booker.
We have now taken the objective Baker.
So let's go for Alpha. Yeah, a lot of smoke and stuff on the screens. Oh God. Combined with that stutter, it's not. I don't know. That goes on the machine gun. Let's see if we can't help him out a little bit.
Be alert, we are losing objective Baker.
Wow.
We have lost
Not a
half our
single
soldiers.
bullet.
Shit! Shit! Help someone! Over there, see? Be careful! Smoke grenade from us!
Back off so I can spawn on you.
Oh, one of them! First aid! Now, soldier! Grenade for them!
That was kind of cool. That's not cool. Get out of the fucking way, tree. Oh my goodness.
Always. Soldiers!
Nope, you're friendly.
We now have control of objective Able.
Cool. Feel like I helped. But we lost Bravo. Gotcha. So. Oh, I just want to go that way. God. Looks like they're kind of handling that. Nope, they're not.
Don't like the looks of that.
Objective Able is being lost.
Oh wow, I'm out of ammo.
That one's done. I'm on trigger!
Where we have lost Objective Able.
We've lost the bloody objective, soldiers.
Well, that sucks. Going backwards. And I ain't got no ammo.
We have now taken Objective Able.
Got it, soldiers. Here.
That felt more like luck than anything, to be honest. Wow. Yeah, I'm just not a fan of these, like, I'm gonna call them urban environments, even though it's, you know, a destroyed urban,
There's so few of us left.
Center.
We're almost done for.
because it kind of feels like a Call of Duty map where you have to know. I don't know. I like the more wide open spaces of the earlier games.
Yes, almost there. Keep fighting.
I'm dying, man.
We must attack the next sector immediately.
This is kind of interesting because it's kind of like Rush and Conquest combined. I like the, what would you call it? Like a dynamic objective. I sure wish I could hear some footsteps. Whew. Is he under fire?
Treat those wounds.
Right there, look out!
Only half our force remains.
Heads up, grenade out!
What the fuck am I stuck on? Like, just what the fuck am I stuck on? Tree root. Lost the battle because I'm stuck on a tree root.
Grenade!
See him? Damn shock trooper!
Dear God.
Glad to see you.
Present for him?
Weather effects are interesting, but not really welcome. I'd rather just be able to see. To be honest, I've never been a fan of like all this glare and crap. All the glare and whatever effects that DICE loves to throw into these games. It's like, just let me see what I'm doing, man. That's the most important thing. Anybody? Anybody around? No? Nope, nope, nope.
Attention, we are losing objective Baker.
there.
Oh, come on. Starting to feel like the good old bad days of Battlefield 3 with
Not good, there's few of us left.
questionable detection. Hit detection, rather. So I guess only the squad leader gets to use the points? Well, that's kind of interesting.
Here we go!
Throwing a bomb!
They deserved it!
Damn it.
Better stay down! First aid! Use it! Thanks for that.
Let's get this done!
Yeah, I'll fix you.
Oh. Guess I should have thought about that. Thanks, man. Appreciate that.
Run to hell!
There, looks like trouble.
We have now taken objective Baker.
Baker! This guy's not doing too well. God. There's just no chance to do anything. Yeah, I don't like this short time to kill, man. It's not... With an environment this open...
Alert, we are losing objective Baker.
I mean, I suppose eventually once you get used to where the safer points are in the map, it's not going to matter as much, but... Alright, we're down to 29 tickets. Ooh, thunder. About to get some heavy rain here where I am.
We are losing objective Baker.
That stutter is just terrible. Like, I don't... There's no fluidity
Trooper over there.
to the map. To the aiming, rather. Hey, buddy. Oh, come on. Okay, this is pretty much it. I'll let
We are
my
losing
team
objective
fight it
Baker.
out.
We have lost objective Baker, soldiers.
They had us on number, they had us on position. No amount of planning could overcome those simple facts. They've spread to the mountains, no doubt to set up a final defense. Quite the fight ahead, so get some rest while you can.
Cool, cool. I actually like that game mode, now that I think about it. I guess, I'm assuming the first portion is like a, what do you call it? Like rush. And then depending on how well you do in that portion, you get to fight this like conquest-like part. So that's kind of cool. Okay, I want to quit. I want to quit.
Attention soldiers. We'll be dropping you in to soften up German defenses ahead of the main landing. You need to locate caches containing explosives and use them to dismantle their artillery.
But I
Get
want
yourselves
to quit.
ready, and good luck.
There we go. Well, see, that's another step back. Like, why are we going back to the old days of, like, not being able to exit a match without, like, turning off the game? Like in Bad Company 2? And the early days of Battlefield 3 before that got patched out? That's not good. I want to play Conquest. Let's do a little tank action, shall we? Oops. Oh, that's weird. I don't like how it's... Definitely gonna have to go change that. I don't like using just the stick to control movement. It doesn't feel good on it for a tank. So the tank gun isn't doing anything against the house? That's disappointing. That's really disappointing. So I was damaging the house, or I wasn't? I don't get it. Let's see if I can't get into something a little speedier.
Watch out, over there.
Where the fuck did he go? Man, I know this is World War II, but I'm sure the tanks weren't this bad. It's pretty hard to control. Funky. Oh. Fucking tree. Jesus. Let's see a damn thing. One thing I've noticed too is when like as far as platforming, if that's what you want to call it, like the edges of objects aren't quite the edge, or it's hard to judge that.
Heads up, grenade out!
It's ours! Objective taken!
Where's my grenade explosion? What the fuck? Thank you, buddy.
Good shape.
First aid, yours.
Pay attention. That's the Euro. Capture the objective. Yes, we have the objective, Jones.
Sergeants, no more! We have the objective, soldiers!
See, this is frustrating because I know there's an ammo crate below me, but there's like no way to get down
There you
there.
are.
I have to go do this. Let's put a little ladder or something, or not a ladder, a staircase.
There you are. First aid.
Yeah, something weird going on with this game. I don't know. I feel like some sounds aren't registering or something. So I had a teammate that went down that way. I was like, what happened to him? That's why I thought the area was clear. Wait, what? Oh, God.
those wounds.
Stop firing! That's our soldier!
Got promoted?
Where's that coming from? I can hear it. Sounds like it's close, but sounds aren't really telling me what I need to know.
Requesting a crocodile at this location.
Crocodile.
Yes, we have that vehicle available.
The fuck is a crocodile? Hey, how's it going, Cell? It's going better. I messed around with some options, and I'm having a better time. I'm still not super happy with the game, I gotta be honest. It's not gonna be a day one purchase for me. Which is too bad, because, you know, it's kind of fun to be there on day one, and you know, be there with the entire community as everybody's playing the game and leveling up together and everything. I'm really not happy with this map at all. I don't like really much about it, to be honest. I did one round of Grand Operations, which I like. If I understand the game mode, it's basically like the first part, or day one or whatever, is almost like a what do you call it? Rush. You know, blow up the objectives, and I guess depending on how well you do, how well you do in that section, day two may be effective. So I thought that was kind of cool. You know, it's neat. But, you know, at this point, after all these years, I kind of wish DICE just understood, like, Conquest and Rush should be a no-brainer for DICE, you know. So a mashup of the two is interesting. I don't know how much longevity it has, but we'll see, you know. Battlefield 4, I think most people agree Rush was kind of messed up. I certainly didn't enjoy it. Wow.
More first aid, soldier!
Recoil on that gun is just so weird.
Soldiers, capture the objective!
Yeah, and that's something that DICE has always kind of had trouble with. It's like, you know, they like putting these like sun glares and suppression effects, and on paper I'm for that stuff, but you know, at the end of the day I just want to be able to see what I'm doing.
Taking the objective!
This map has a lot of smoke effects, you know, and I'm just like, I really just want to be able to see what I'm doing. Especially since I wouldn't mind so much if the time to kill wasn't so low in this game. And I think that's one thing that's jumping out at me about this, is the time to kill really doesn't help with the level design. Because it's still so easy to be sniped, shot from different parts.
Throwing grenade!
The massive fog, yeah, and when I was playing Grand Operations, when we took over 2 sectors, and when we got to the 3rd one, the fog rolled in. And, you know, again, it looks cool. Wow. It looks cool and affects both teams, so it's fair, but I'd really rather just be able to see what I'm doing. How about yourself? Did you play any more today? On Rotterdam also? I don't think it's a bug, because I think DICE has always been fond of putting stuff like that in their games, so hopefully it's something that they patch out, to be honest. Like, I kind of dug it in the Grand Operations because it was, you know, we took over 2 sectors and then the fog came in, so it kind of felt like, oh, you know, this is differentiating this this 3rd phase of the battle. So in that sense, it was kind of okay, but again, I just want to be able to see what I'm doing. And then the stutter in the game is still present, so that's not really great for me. And I like all the options that DICE has started putting in their games since BF4, you know, as far as like the opacity of different objects and stuff, but I kind of don't like having to fine-tune all that stuff so much, you know. I guess once I get it down, it'll be fine. You don't see me, you don't see me, you don't see me. You don't see me, you don't see me. Oh. You don't see me, you don't see me. Oh, man. You'll be playing later tonight. Fog might not be a bug, but really weird considering the sunny weather on Rotterdam, even though it does rain at some point. Yeah, like that's supposed to be a sunny level. And again, like the sun glare You know, in the past week, I went back and played some Battlefield 3, and like, God, that game has some serious glare. I didn't notice it so much on Battlefield 4, although I'm sure there's a few maps where you see it. But, you know, I know it's an aesthetic thing, but I'd rather they just put the sun like straight ahead above, make it 12 noon, and then just make it so that unless you're looking straight up,
Finished.
your sight isn't messed with at all. Yeah, Battlefield 3 was great, man. I mean, that game had some flaws, but I think I'm really missing the game feel, or the infantry feel of that game. I mean, 4 was pretty similar, but I think I prefer 3 even to 4, as far as like the feel of being an infantry and being on your feet, running around the map. Like, some of the options have made the movement feel a little bit better, but this still feels like, I don't know, like the strafing feels stiff. I also don't like, and yeah, again, it's just a beta, but I don't like how, like, in between rounds you can't leave, so you have to like quit. You know, like, there's no option here to just quit. This, you know, this is like Bad Company 2, where you had to like just turn the game off. It's like, what the hell is that crap? Oh man, if they revamped Battlefield 3, yeah, that game was awesome. I think I'm with you. I prefer Battlefield 3 to Battlefield 4, even though Battlefield 4 eventually became a really good game. But, you know, these companies, the teams change, the people come and go, and of course that's going to affect the feel of the games, you know. But I don't know if you feel the same. Like, Bad Company 2 was such a great game, and then Battlefield 3 was just, to me, seemed like an improvement, like, on almost every level. Wait, I didn't choose this class, did I? Like, to me, Battlefield 3 felt like a game that people listened to the fans. Like, it felt like a game made for fans of Bad Company 2, but better, right? And then, like, Battlefield 4 comes along and some things change. And then Battlefield 1 just felt like a step backwards in a lot of ways. And I feel like to some extent, like, DICE doesn't really understand its own game. Which might be kind of smug of my part to say, but I think that can happen with developers, you know. Oh, didn't see that guy at all. Wow. I'll tell you, my first inkling of that was when Battlefield 3 was still the active game, and about halfway through that game's life, they started putting out those commercials that were like, you know, guys who play the game, and they're like, oh man, I was in a jet and I jumped out and I got to a helicopter and I shot an RPG Man, it's crazy. And it's like, yeah, like that is something that happens in these games, and it's part of what makes it fun. But it happens so much, like even in the course of one round, that it's, I don't know, it's it's not like the heart and soul of the game, you know. Like to me, the heart and soul of the game is just the complexity and just the sheer amount of options that you have. But it felt like the fact that DICE was using that to advertise the game just felt like, I don't know. Do you understand Battlefield?
Sie gehört zu uns, Soldat!
At this point, so far, this is a no-buy for me. I don't think it's hopeless, and I would think that the extra month that they gave themselves is enough time to get it into shape. But, you know, if they were asking me, which they're not, I would rebalance the game in a lot of different ways. Wow. Yeah, like, I get that feeling, too, like... I don't know if you remember in Battlefield 3 when there was that issue with the USAS-12, when if you loaded the explosive shells into that gun... Oh, thanks, that guy actually revived me. If you loaded the explosive shells into the USAS-12, like there was no damage reduction over time. And basically it became like a grenade launcher. And people were... That was before the first DLC even came out, if I remember correctly. And people were just crying over that, because it was... Everybody was using it, and if you tried to use any other gun, you were basically just going to get killed. And then they finally patched the game ahead of the DLC, and they basically nerfed that gun to the point where it was useless. And it's like, don't make the gun useless, just make it normal, you know? And a lot of those rebalances that they made for that game kind of felt like that. Like they were just like, all right, fine, we'll fix it. And then they just totally went overboard, you know? I mean, I'm sure it's not easy, you know, they gotta deal with a lot of crap. Oh, I keep forgetting to change my class. But you were saying something earlier when I was playing today that this feels more like Call of Duty, and I totally agree. Like the gunplay does not feel like a... it doesn't feel like a Battlefield game to me. Certainly not like Battlefield 3. Where every gun just felt so unique. The recoil for every gun just felt different. And, you know, it's I'm only using some of the weapons because it's a beta, but still, it just doesn't feel quite right, you know? I haven't had any of those really awesome moments where, you know, you're using like a submachine gun and you spot an enemy far away and you just kind of aim down sights and put a couple shots at long distance and you get those headshots and you get the kill and you're like, yeah, I actually like outplayed that guy, you know? I gotta be honest, like, playing this is making me look at Black Ops 4 a little more seriously. Because I haven't been playing a first-person shooter in a while. I bought Titanfall 2 when it came out. That game's alright, but it was kind of disappointing. So I've been playing like one round, because that's one of those games where like you have like a daily login reward, you know? But I play it, but that game just has a lot of flaws. So it's not really scratching my itch. So I was really looking forward to this. And now I'm just not feeling it. I'm also like, the grenades, I don't know, maybe this class isn't equipped with the right kind of grenade, but like those weird sound glitches are messing with me a little bit. Let's do it, buddy. Come on.
Here, this map.
Thank you. And like we were saying before, like the guns just feel like they take up a lot of real estate on the screen. Oh, you're a friendly. Yeah, the SCG is huge. And why, like the guy is holding it at a weird angle too, that kind of throws me off. Feels a little bit unnecessary. Let's go this way. What do you think about the level design? Because I'm not super happy with it. I mean, it's reminding me a lot of Battlefield 1. And on paper, I like the density of the maps, but I think it's like when I'm just trying to like get from point A to point B, I feel like there's just a lot of clutter. Obviously, they're prettier than like Battlefield 3 and 4, but I kind of miss the simplicity of those maps, you know?
Schön, dich zu sehen. Greif zu. Lass dir Hilfe.
Like, okay, just look at where my. Hopefully, I don't get killed doing this. But look at my where my crosshairs are right now. And now I aim down sights, and then I get a little bit more like definition on that, right? But from here, it's really hard to tell what is going on over there. So, I don't know. I think the density, the graphical density of the maps is kind of a detriment. Right, this is a BF1 map, but even that, what's it called, Narvik, that ice level, snow level, Like that feels like very cluttered.
Erste Hilfe für dich.
Well, parts of it are cluttered, parts of it feel too open, like where you're just like sniper bait in that map. Oh my goodness.
Noch mehr! Das ist einer unserer Soldaten, du Schwachkopf!
I don't know. I don't want to be too hard on the game because, you know, this is like my 5th round. It's a beta. A lot of this stuff can change, and you know, we should try to give them the benefit of the doubt and try to adjust to the game that they've made, but it's not knocking me off my socks.
Noch mehr! Erste Hilfe!
Like I just generally feel more enclosed than I did in Battlefield 3 and 4. And I feel like that facilitates camping, which I don't have anything against campers, but like it's a lot easier for somebody to just sit and like guard a doorway because the spaces are so narrow, you know. Yeah, definitely like the soldier feel in 3 and 4 was a lot better.
Ein bekanntes Gesicht.
Wir werden alle sterben! Alle! Jetzt bist du tot!
I'm not sure how I feel about the weapon upgrades either. Like I really liked the classic system in 3 and 4 where, you know, you unlock stuff as you get score in your class. You unlock stuff as you get like your general score. You unlock stuff for each specific weapon as you get kills. But this system of like buying stuff, that was lucky. That was pure luck. Not. The animations also are getting me killed a lot. Where, you know, you're like jumping off a ledge or something, and your character just has to take that extra like crouching second. Yeah, I noticed that, and that's thrown me off a couple times. I wonder if that's a glitch, the running and the crouching position. It'd be cool if you had like a faster crouching movement, but it shouldn't be the same speed as running.
Granate! Hier, behaltst du erste Hilfe.
Oh, okay. That makes more sense. It actually flanked me. I think the crouch run has got to be a glitch. Now, I heard something about them releasing a patch for the beta to kind of address some of the things that people have been talking about. Did you hear something like that? Because I'd be interested in seeing how DICE responds to this. It would make me feel a lot more optimistic if they... yeah, it would make me feel a lot more optimistic if they had a good response to the feedback they've been getting so far. Oh wow! Oh, he was right there. Oh, dude, turn around. He's right behind you. There's two of them. Guy has no idea. I kind of wish the soldier uniforms were a little bit more distinct for each team, too. So you said that you don't usually buy Battlefield games right off the bat. I used to enjoy doing that because, like I said, you know, day one everybody's at the same level. You're kind of leveling up together. So when do you, if you're considering buying this game, when do you think that you would make the purchase? I was interested in that. Because at this point, I would probably be interested in buying this game, but on sale. Maybe at $40, which would mean, you know, probably way down the line. I don't think this is going to be on sale. I don't think this is going to be on sale on Black Friday because it'll be too soon after release.
Hallo, Sanitäter, ich sterbe! Sanitäter, schnell!
Come on.
Thanks everybody for hanging out, by the way. Appreciate it. Hope you're enjoying the stream. I'm not super crazy about the ammo boxes because it kind of feels superfluous, you know. It's like, that's where he was. Should try to be a little more careful. I'm looking at the patch. I bought BF4 straight off the bat the day the PS4 went on sale, but I played the 360 version and it was god awful looking. I normally wait a few months, so. yeah, I could see myself waiting 3 months or so. Maybe around the time of the first DLC. Although there's some questions about when that might, the first DLC might come out a little sooner for this game because
Aufpassen! Granate
they
kommt!
seem to be hinting that they're going to delay the Battle Royale. Maybe till all the versions are out. And see, that's another thing, is like they're doing this thing where some people get it like 3 days early, 6 days early. It's like, just stop doing that crap. Just make it come out for everybody at the same time. But some people have speculated that they're going to delay the Battle Royale mode until everybody has access to it. And that may be the first DLC, basically. So we'll see. .420 blazing. Oh. Sneaky, sneaky. Apparently they already patched it. Ouch. Wow. Ugh. That's not a good look. That's not a good look. Well, we'll have to see what the final release is like, I guess. They gave themselves a little bit extra time. We'll see what they do with it. Yeah, I definitely gotta... Let's mess with some stuff real quick. It's a little better. I think Battlefield 4 let you change the size of icons and stuff, and that was really welcome. I have dyslexia, so stuff like that really throws me off, and it does make it hard to concentrate. I know that's not something, a problem most people have, but it really affects my gameplay. It's one of the things I really hated about Battlefield, or Titanfall 2. Ooh, I got him. I got him. Man.
Du wurdest befördert! Das ist kein Feind! Tagchen! Unbekannt!
Ich habe eine Handgranate für Sie.
Come on, really? Oh, see, I could get over it. What was that? Damn, that recoil. If anything, playing this is making me want to play Battlefield 4 again. Ooh, that was lucky. That was all luck. Better you than me. There's sometimes like crouching and standing doesn't. Like, I feel like the crouch sometimes doesn't crouch all the way or something. There's a little bug in there somewhere. Out of here. One thing I noticed, especially on this, well, maybe not especially on this map, but I haven't noticed a lot of like squads like really working together. You know, like people are spawning in with their squads and stuff, but
Granate, runter!
not a whole lot of cooperation. And that's probably more due to the fact that people aren't used to what each class is doing in this game yet. I'm certainly not. Oh. Oh man, I didn't notice the icon. Dang it. Sorry, buddy. Get out of my way. god. What's happening? Yeah, and that's always kind of been a thing. But one of the things I loved about Battlefield 3 was just the ability to, like, because I pretty much play that game by myself with randoms, and occasionally I'll get into a good squad or something. I mean, I always get into a squad just to try to be a team player, but... Oh, man. Like, I feel like in that game, especially, one player can make a difference, you know? You know, you can be a recon and do a little bit of sniping, set up a motion sensor, or a spawn beacon, then maybe jump into a tank or a jeep, maybe a jet. Actually put a difference into the battlefield, you know. That's really satisfying. It's really unfortunate that I can't look at my stats, or not my stats, my like loadout and stuff from this screen. That just seems like it would make more sense. 8 and 14. Well, that's not too bad. $53 and 8. Holy shit. These guys are good. Always end up on a team of people speaking another language. That's hard. You know what's funny is I used to go when Battlefield 3 was on. I used to play that game so much that sometimes I'd be playing like at 3 in the morning, and none of the American servers had any people on them. So I would go into the Asian servers or the European servers. And the European servers generally were French. And basically as soon as I said anything in English, people would just start cussing me out. I also speak Spanish, so I know when I'm getting cussed out in French. It's like, okay, you know, I'm trying to be friendly, but I guess you guys hate Americans. And on the flip side, when I'd go into the Asian servers, as soon as I said anything, everyone would just fall completely silent. You know, it's like, I'm not spying on you or something. Like, let's just do our best, you know. But it's funny how players have different attitudes in different company or different countries. Let's moving or distant targets. See, I'm not a fan of upgrades like this because it just feels so arbitrary. Like, this is something that Battlefield 3 addressed by having different weapons, and I'm sure this game will have lots of different weapons. But it's like, you know, if you feel like your bullets are taking too long to reach your target, you use a different gun. French dudes are funny when they are getting mad. Still sounds like they're trying to make babies. I know, it's a romantic language, man. That's funny. And one thing I noticed, like, sometimes I would play on the South American servers, and it's like, holy crap, those guys never shut up. Like, they're constantly talking. It's like, how do you concentrate? Oh, okay, so now this is splitting up. More accurate hip fire. Improve accuracy in the aim fire when stationary. Okay. I'll take it. Oh, this is just unlocking all over the place. I'll take that too, why not? Requires rank 5. Okay. Customization. Oh, I should have seen if I could buy some of this stuff. Yeah, I'm not a fan of the tree system. It might turn out to be okay once everybody gets to that point where you've unlocked everything, and everybody's unlocked everything, and you're able to give your weapons like that extra edge, you know, on one way or another. But on paper, I'm kind of against it. Oh, better damage, better accuracy. I'll stick with that for a while, though. I haven't really even been using my pistol very much. If you want to change your weapon up, if you started the chain, you have to buy another gun and start all over. Yeah, I figured it would go that way. That doesn't bother me that much because eventually, you know, in these games, eventually you get to the point where you've unlocked everything, so that kind of grind doesn't seem so bad in retrospect. Oh, yeah. Definitely want that. Definitely want that. But we'll see. I may feel differently about that later on. Okay, I'm gonna play as medic for a little while. Oh, so the female players are the snipers? Is that always the case, or I'm a little confused about that. Nope. Typical dice, you know, the 63 out of 64 players, and that information is already old. It's like, get it together. Game full. You know, you have to find a server that's at like 60. Oh, that's a terrible ping, though. Well, whatever. Do you have any interest in Black Ops 4? I haven't played Call of Duty in a long time, but I could see myself trying it out again after a while. I mean, I don't know. Those games are usually pretty polished, at least, you know. They run well, generally. But I'm not sure if I can go back to smaller maps like that. Because even Titanfall 2 had a little bit more going on. But that game doesn't run very well. Damn it, Cracker. What? What'd you call me? That's rude. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Where was he? Oh, up there. Okay. I've seen thee. One thing I'm really struggling with is moving from hipfire to aim down sights. Yeah, I don't know. Like I need to adjust that if I can. Doesn't look good. Where are my friends? Anybody? Anybody? Oh, dang it. Footsteps is one thing that people have complained about, and to be honest, I don't think it's ever been great in Battlefield games. That's something that's really bothered me. But in this one, it feels particularly egregious.
I'm getting trapped! First aid! Here!
Are there any vehicle spawns? Oh, I'm on the wrong team over here. I gotta find a squad with a few more people in it. Let's see. What are these people doing in squad of one? Under fire. That guy just died. Let's go to Charlie and see what happens.
Got eyes on trouble there.
Can I get over this? Nope. Guess not. Who builds the barriers? I guess that must be the engineer class.
Fancy
Nice.
seeing you.
You know what I haven't been using much is this. The comros. Interesting.
Don't like the looks of that.
My hero.
That's done! We have the objective!
I do like the soldier lines a little bit more than like Battlefield 3 and 4, where they're just like, "Fucking move, dude!" It's a little more classy. The English soldiers. My hero. I'll take that. That's an improvement. Oh, get up there! My God, how long did that take? Getting shot at. Oh, yep, I was. Oh, I know something I want to turn off. Where is that? Where's he going? Oh, they gotta lower these ticket counts, man. Like, it's too long. Oh, get over there. Oh wow, that pop-in was pretty bad. That bush was pretty close to me.
Might have a problem over there.
Nope, should not have taken that shot at all. Get up those stairs. Oh. Somebody's got my number. Oh, wow. Oh, come on, man. You're not gonna help me? Oh, really? Could have been... Well, no, my internet's... If mine had cut out, I would have probably been kicked out. There's a storm where I am, so I wouldn't be surprised if something happened.
Hey there, soldier.
Hey there, soldier. Hey there, governor. Whoa, 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 whoa. Don't kill me. Where are you, Cells? Or Cell collapsed? I'm in Texas. You know what I really want? And maybe you can unlock it somehow, is a shotgun. I'm a big fan of shotguns. Damn, man, that time to kill. Got no time to do anything. Kentucky, right on. I got a friend in Kentucky. I think he... No, I don't think he's in Louisville. Somewhere in Kentucky. See you later. Oh god. There have to be 3 of them. Oh man. What's the rest of my team doing? I'm not really a fan of this either because it's... I mean, probably once I learn the maps a lot better, it won't be an issue, but like it's hard to tell exactly where they are and how close they are to certain flags. I mean, I know I can go into the other screen too, but I just wish that view was a little more helpful. I saw you. Oh, come on! Let me kill your friend. We're only like a third through the ticket count, man. That's not good. Trying to cast a stream to my TV. Oh, okay, cool. Appreciate it. This is gonna probably be my last round, by the way. But I appreciate you hanging around, man. It's always nice to have somebody watching when you're streaming. I followed your channel. I'm not sure if you ever stream. Whoa. Christ.
Fuck! Watch out! Danger there!
Oh, God. Oh, he put a mine down. Nice work. I guess now that I think about it, when I'm thinking about the level design, when I think back to Battlefield 3 and 4, like each flag had character, for lack of a better word. You know, like each flag, it's not like, how do I put this? Like each flag felt like, okay, I understand why we would be trying to capture this, right? But also the areas in between the flags kind of had a little something.
Objective is ours, soldiers!
You know, something that made them distinctive. And I feel like that's something that's lacking in this game, where like... I'm not feeling the urgency to like hold down a street or anything like that, you know, it's pretty much about the flags. And I think that's maybe why the squad cooperation isn't there as much, is because it's all just about getting to the flag. Oh. Easy. That guy ghosted on me. No idea where he went. No idea where he went. He probably went upstairs. Goodness. Yeah, the water looks funky. It's a it's a pretty flat little texture they got going there. I didn't think that guy was that close. Thought I'd get the jump on him. You were running around in the middle of the ocean in Narvik? Oh, really? I don't think I've tried getting in the water there. I really don't like that map. I don't know what it is exactly, but have I played any other maps? There's a third map somewhere in this, right? I thought I heard that.
Grenade!
Oh, nice shot, dude. Just headshot of that guy. Sooner or later, I'm gonna need to put in some work into the sniper class. Oh.
Eyes up! Over there!
Oh! I just not noticed that guy up there. I also don't like how the round has a timer and the ticket count. Like, I mean, I definitely want them to lower the ticket count, but you know, I like to go all the way. Like, that's kind of what makes it fun, is you can have those comebacks as long as the ticket count is correct.
Bloody hell!
That's always been something I enjoyed about these games.
Be still. I've got you.
Nice, that felt good. Oh, shot from everywhere. Literally walking on water. I had a new moment and went looking for a whale, but after the initial plunge into the ocean, I started running instead of swimming. Wow. And, you know, bugs like that don't really bother me that much, but it needs to get fixed before the game release. You know, otherwise it's, you know, like, if you remember, some of the Battlefield 3 beta bugs were still present when the game released, and it took a couple patches to really iron them out completely.
Enemy have taken the objective! Got a no nonsense! Throwing grenade! Oh, you fuck! That's not pal!
Oh. Yeah, it's like, I don't know, I didn't... Like, I've definitely seen a lot of, like, soldiers that have been killed and then they're just, like, slumped over in midair, you know. It's like, don't want to see a whole lot of that in the final game. And that also gets into, like, death animations, you know, when you're, like, shooting a guy that's already dead, but you keep shooting because he doesn't look like he's dead. And then because of that, you end up getting killed by somebody else. That's not good. I think we're gonna lose this round unless we start playing a lot better. Yeah, that would be a bad glitch. You're right about that. Ah.
Firing! Ah! Been hit!
No? Well, at least somebody killed him. I kind of wish, honestly, when they announced the delay, I kind of wish they had just delayed it until January, which isn't realistic because I know that it's probably important for them to get the game out before the end of fiscal year or something. And at this point, they're not going to delay it again. That would just look terrible. But I kind of wish they delayed it till January and just taking their time. You know, get the game like ironed out. I think they should have done the alpha and the beta long ago, I think. And I'm kind of mystified and honestly a little concerned that... Well, how long have they been working on this? 2 years? Oh, nice shot. When was Battlefield 1? 2 years ago? So they probably haven't been working on this that long. But I feel like this should have been further along, you know? So that has me a little bit concerned. They're always trying to compete with COD, and, you know, they've never beat them. I mean, I definitely prefer these games to COD. But, you know, they're trying to go right toe-to-toe with them, and it's like, dude, it's pretty hard to take on Call of Duty. You know, I think it'd be a lot better if you released in January, March, you know, and next February is going to be pretty busy, so that probably wouldn't be a great window for release either, but... Oh, man. Did read that there may be another beta in October. That would probably be good. But honestly, I mean, I guess it couldn't hurt, but they do have to put resources into the betas. And, you know, if they're doing like a network stress test, I can understand that. But unless they're having trouble with like parts of the development team that's inexperienced, like I feel like at this point they should have it down to some degree, you know.
That's a grenade!
Get that ammo. Not a fan of the lack of ammo in the game, I gotta say.
Grenade going out!
Oh, I thought there'd be a window there. And nothing. Oh my god. Okay, never mind. Ouch. Oh, man, I didn't see that guy on the floor. Yeah, the release of this game is definitely going to be interesting, if anything, as a news story, you know, just to see what the final result of this game ends up being. Yeah, that could be it, you know. I mean, there's definitely... But here's the thing. If you're trying to appeal to the COD community, that's kind of a double-edged sword, because the COD community is already playing COD. It's already the best-selling game every year, as far as I know. So, you know, it's like if you went to a restaurant and somebody sat down and bought a meal, and you're like, hey, do you want to buy a meal? They're probably going to be like, no, I'm good, I think, you know? And I, personally, obviously, like, when I was playing like 2 first-person shooters, the thing that appealed... Oh my goodness. Wow. I hope my aim isn't that bad and I can blame that on the stutter. But I don't know. What appealed to me was the difference between the 2 games, you know? So like when Battlefield 3 came out, I think it was around the time that Modern Warfare 3 came out, and my friends preferred that game more. So I would play it when they were playing it, and it was fun. But jumping into Battlefield 3 like felt like my game, you know? But I enjoyed the difference between the games. You're a glutton, sir. But, you know, and that's the thing is, as games are demanding more and more of your time, even a multiplayer game like this that ostensibly is like, oh yeah, let's jump in, play a couple rounds. But like this round is taken like almost 46 minutes. That's the better part of an hour. So, you know, on my days off, I have time to like play several rounds of this in one go. But that's probably not going to happen that much anymore. And I guess there's younger people that don't have work or off of school. But I don't know. It's tricky. I'm not going to say that I have an answer. But I think this game is kind of shooting itself in the foot if it's... Okay, here's that fog you were talking about. I definitely don't like this. But if what they're going for... Wow. What they're going for is trying to fleece the COD community. It's like... I don't know if that's gonna do it, man. And this goes back to the way EA and DICE have marketed this game in the past. It's like they really should like highlight the differences in the game, and I think this game would benefit a lot from explaining itself to players better. Because I'm sure you've had that experience where you're like playing with randoms and you're like, hey dude, can you drop some ammo? And people are like, how do I even do that? You know, and it's like, ugh, just have a tutorial mode. You can make it optional, but I think if people understand the mechanics of this game more, I think they'll enjoy it more. Oh, yeah, yeah. I understand that for sure. Gotta eat those that protein, put those carbs in your body for sure. All right. Well, listen, man. Thanks for hanging out. I'm gonna cut out for the night. I'll be playing more this weekend. This goes till Monday, right? So I'll definitely be playing more of this and get a true feel for the game. But I definitely appreciate you hanging out. Hopefully I'll see you tomorrow or sometime this weekend. Take care, man. Thanks.